Hey y'all, I'm going to be streaming this best team for Radical Red right here on the channel. If you can't make the stream, don't worry about it. The parts will be uploaded over on Mystic Zora. I'm also going to be doing some Inuyasha content on MysticSage and more Genshin Impact content on Zora. I'm actually streaming Genshin on my Twitch, so if you like that game, definitely go and check that out. Oh, and follow my Insta, Twitter, and TikTok, where you can see me and my lovely life and cringiness. With that being said though, hope you guys enjoy the video. Links for all those will be in the description below.
Alright, so let me get this straight. You think that promoting your Twitter _C_prime_ on Mystic Umbreon's channel for content that you're featured in is funny?
You know, I do. And I'm tired of pretending it's not. I work so hard on this channel. And comedy's subjective, Andrew. All of you, the comment section that knows so much. You decide what's good or bad content the same way you decide what's funny or not.
Okay, I think I might understand it. You did this to start a movement, to become a symbol?
Oh, come on, Andrew. Do I look like the kind of dog that could start a movement? Everyone's just so awful these days, thinking that Mystic's the only one who exists. Everyone in the comments just yells and is rude to each other. Nobody's ever civil anymore. All these people watching, they wanted me back. But they just wanted me back to make fun of me.
People are clicking off of the video right now. They've had enough. They're leaving and you're laughing. We're losing viewers today because of what you did.
I know. How about another plug, Andrew?
No, I think we've had enough of your promotion.
What do you get when you go to twitter.com / _C_prime_ and
That's
you
enough.
follow an
Get him out
account
of
of
here,
someone
Mystic.
who's
Get him
holding
out
up
of
the video and nobody on the channel likes. You get the content that you fucking deserve.
Well, that was weird. Anyways, as I think you can tell from the title and obviously from the intro, we're doing another one of these analysis videos on the most common teams you all used. Mystic put up a poll a little bit ago and you all voted for Black 2 and White 2 for the next team we covered. So yeah, I think that about covers what we're doing.
Obviously, in the original Gen 5 releases of Black and White, you only were able to use Pokemon that were of Unovan origin. But when we talk about Black 2, White 2, there's 4 previous generations worth of Pokemon that are up for grabs. And I think we definitely narrowed it down as best as possible with all the options. Head on down into the comments now and throughout the video so you can let us know how your team matches up with the ones that we put together for this video. So why don't we get into it with the most obvious place to start. Andrew?
So naturally, we're going to start off with the starter Pokemon. Of course, we're just going to leave all 3 as potential options, as the divide is usually in too close to call territory. That said, we still like to give a focus here, and we went with Superior. Our thought process here was trying to figure out what were the most popular options back when Black and White first came out, and how tastes and opinions shifted when the sequels were picked up. All 3 starters had good things going for them, but we think Oshawott probably won in the cute department, and Tepig was likely picked up because of the Fire-type's solid track record. So I would consider Snivy to be in 3rd place. A very close 3rd place, but 3rd place nonetheless. When our second adventure in Unova came around, people might have defaulted a little more often than not to choosing Snivy. Why, you ask? Well, I think firefighting definitely wore out its welcome at this point, and Samurott left a lot to be desired, especially for people choosing Oshawott because of its cuteness. But Superior? It's just so sleek in design, Ash's Snivy giving it a popularity boost probably helped, and come on, just look how cool it looks in this animated trailer. How could you not want to pick Superior as your starter for your second go in Unova?
You know, funny enough, I actually would always pick Snivy in my Unova playthroughs, with Oshawott normally being a pretty close second. I think Andrew hit it on the nose there. Superior is awesome in design, and really it's a good Pokemon in general with 113 base speed, so it outclasses its contemporaries in that department. That being said, however, there's also the few people who definitely picked the other 2, and while there was a burnout a bit from the firefighting starters at this point, I think Emboar definitely saw a lot of usage in Black and White 2 as well. In my personal opinion, you gotta think that Samurott saw a lot of traction in Black and White simply from Oshawott's adorable charm, so the next logical choice would be to go with what you know in a fighting fire type. With any of the 3 starters, though, you'll have a very solid Pokemon to get you through a journey in this newly imagined Unova region. I would like to know for sure, though, from you guys down below, if there's a starter used both times, or just any time you play a Unovan game. Because I'm sure for all this dissection we're doing, there's probably a good deal of you guys who just stick with what you know every time you play.
So next in line is a Pokemon we touched on in the last video, Lucario. This was honestly the first Pokemon that we both thought of to make this list. For one, Lucario is just insanely popular, so it wouldn't surprise me if there were a lot of you out there that use Lucario every opportunity you get when it's available. Then there are the people that chose Roserade or Weavile over Lucario in Gen 4 and wanted to make it up to the Fighting Steel powerhouse this time around. And the fact is that since you can get Riolu so early in this generation at Flockacy Ranch, it truly was a no-brainer.
No brains? I'm all about that, and so are you. Lucario is obviously just a ridiculously popular Pokemon, and the fact that they're handing it out right at the start of a playthrough is enough to entice anyone, I would think. Imagine if you were playing through Red and Blue, and you could capture a Dratini on Route 25. Or perhaps if in Sandalwood Forest in X and Y, there was just a Goomy slicking about. It's begging you to use this Pokemon, so why would you not? With Lucario on the team, you're going to have a strong Pokemon with 115 base attack and 110 base special attack that will help you clear through important battles like Clay's Gym Challenge, among others. It's a nice compliment to any of the starters, though definitely superior in Samurott more than Emboar, since they'd be sharing that fighting typing. Lucario just makes tons of sense for anyone to use because of just how easy it is to get.
Rounding out the first half of the list, we are going to be talking about none other than the Glasses Gharial itself, Krookodile. There are just so many things going on for this Pokemon. The early availability of Sandile, its popularity before and after the introduction of Ashes in the anime, the sheer strength it exhibits with its 117 base attack and solid 92 base speed, ability options that you can't go wrong with being either Intimidate or Moxie, powerful stab options in Crunch and Earthquake, complemented by an impressive pool of physical coverage moves. Oh, and did I mention how cool it looks? It really just is the whole package. We did think maybe Excadrill was another option instead, but honestly there's just too much going right with Krookodile to ignore that it was more than likely the most popular between the two. I don't really think much else needs to be said about Krookodile, so I'm just going to have Frato carry on with the next Pokemon on this list.
Well, it isn't particularly one Pokemon we're going to be talking about next, but a pretty significant handful. We've discussed now how popularity has helped Krookodile and Lucario be Pokemon that would make their way onto any team in these Unovan sequels. But how about a Pokemon that's popularity matches its usefulness? The Eeveelutions are, of course, some of the most popular Pokemon of all time and transcend so many generations as constant staples of teams. Back in Gen 5, you had 7 different options to toy with since there was no Sylveon yet, but perhaps above all else, the 3 that stand out are Flareon, Vaporeon, and Jolteon. I'm sorry for all you Espeon fans, and Mystic himself, and I guess fans of, the grass and ice one. Who really cares about them anyway? But I just feel that these 3 basic Eeveelutions would have been so easy to quickly evolve an Eevee into and slide right into a position on a team. If you choose Snivy, you could get yourself a Vaporeon and boom! There's zero need to worry about any sort of Tepig anymore. The same thing can be said for Oshawott, because if you chose that, then Flareon would be there to defend you, and naturally the same for Tepig and Jolteon. It's helpful that you can go and get one from the Castelia sewers, so yeah, it's pretty early on. Any of the Eeveelutions have got the usability and popularity to justify being on most people's Black and White 2 teams when they first picked up the games.
So in the penultimate spot on the list, we have the Master of Illusions, Zoroark. This wasn't the first one that Frato and I thought of, but it was actually the one that made the most sense to add on here once we thought of it. See, Zoroark is one of those really special Pokemon that you think is legendary based on how it's treated in terms of how you get it and its role in the Pokemon anime. Zoroark and Lucario are almost exactly alike in that manner, as they're both the only non-legendary or mythical Pokemon with a movie focused on them. The difference is that Zoroark was much harder to obtain in Black and White than Lucario ever was in the Sinnoh games. See, the only way you could actually get a Zorua or a Zoroark in the OG games was by activating in-game events by having either an event Celebi in your party or one of the shiny event legendary beasts in your party. Now that's definitely not an impossible task, but these events ended in late February and early March of 2011 before Black and White were even released. So if you missed them, you were out of luck. But Black 2 and White 2 offered redemption for those that missed out on those event Pokemon, as you're just straight up given a Zorua by Rude in Driftville City. So I think it's extremely safe to say that many people jumped at the opportunity to use one on their team, despite the overlapping dark typing with Krookodile.
So really, how good is Zoroark in a playthrough anyway? Well, I'd say it's damn fine. For something that is just given to the player as a gift and was also so hard to get your hands on in the previous Unovan games, you'd be hard-pressed not to find someone who wouldn't want to use this thing. Zoroark has base 120 special attack and a 105 base speed stat, so it's capable of hitting hard and quickly, and that can be very much appreciated in a playthrough. Dark Pulse and a slew of coverage moves from Sucker Punch to Extra Sensory are available to people who choose to do some brooding with their Zoroark, but if not, you can still rely on TMs like Flamethrower and Shadow Ball. It's just a great option beyond that dark typing, and as we've spoken about enough, it has the popularity to back it as a first choice for many people on their teams.
And finally, the last two Pokemon we're going to be talking about today are our flyers. Yeah, since we're still having to use HMs, it only makes sense that we would have a Pokemon that can use Fly permanently on this list. So the two options we narrowed it down to were Emolga and Swanna. As Frato said with the Eeveelutions, this choice might ultimately come down to what Pokemon you chose for your starter, but also the Eeveelution you decided to go with. Emolga is a solid choice with okay stats, but great speed at base 102. You ditch the ground type weakness for an immunity to it, in addition to only having weaknesses to rock and ice. Then when it comes to Swanna, you have a more powerful mixed attacking option with base 87 in both of those, with only slightly slower speed with base 98. Swanna will also have that ground type immunity, but it trades that ice type weakness for a not so great 4x weakness to electric types. But it's a Pokemon that can cover you both on surfing and flying and stab bonuses on top of that, so it's definitely not a bad option despite that devastating electric weakness. I will say, Sigilyph gets a really solid honorable mention here, as it's just such a good Pokemon, but ultimately speaking, I feel these two Pokemon were just much more popular options for the coverage and convenience that they each provided.
Alright, now, I gotta say, Andrew, I think we were pretty successful here. Now, I know that maybe we took the easy way out in some areas talking about multiple Pokemon, but here's the thing. A lot of people have put over just how great the Black 2, White 2 Pokedex is, and in researching this, I think we were able to confirm that fact.
I agree. The Black and White 2 Pokedex and the both of us are amazing, so nobody should ever forget that. Before we fully sign off, we'd like all of you to take to the comment section and let us know if you enjoyed this video, and if we were spot on or just a bunch of idiots. Oh hey Mystic, I see you're back from the Serengeti. What's that? You've spoken to old men that taught you some old forgotten words and ancient melodies?
Hold on. He just turned to me as if to say.
If you enjoyed the video, why not leave a like and subscribe to my channel with notifications on, that way you never miss an upload. If you want to support me further, consider following my Twitch where I stream all sorts of games from Pokemon to Fire Emblem to Zelda and much more. I also have an anime channel called MysticSage where I do anime reviews, rankings, and countdowns. So if you're interested in that kind of content, go ahead and check that out as well. If you want to support me even further and gain cool perks, check out my Patreon. These lovely people have all given me their support over there and I couldn't be more grateful to them. I think I'm gonna wrap this up though. I'm Mystic Umbreon, and I will see you in the future for more awesome Pokemon content.